July 7th, I slept in my own bed, and I hit up and leave. Being at that point living in the St. Louis area, I don't see any desire to film the St. Louis Arch, so I skipped that. And there's miniature Stonehenge, which I had already done coming back from a float trip, so I don't do that. I skipped Springfield because I'd done that on another road trip with Stephanie. And at Joplin, I actually skirted over and I went into Baxter, Kansas, and then jumped back down to the highway. I didn't film any of that because the GPS was like going crazy. I should have gotten some video from there. So I touched the edge of Kansas where I would eventually come to live. Now, shittily, so I live later, 5 years later, or no, 3 years later, I'm living in Kansas, southeast Kansas, and I don't go back and see any of this stuff. I kept thinking I was going to do it. I kept thinking I'm going to do it, and I never did. So next time I fly home, I'm going to stop off and see some friends there, and I'm going to make it a point to fly into Tulsa and try to go down and see a couple of these things again and get some better quality shots. But, so here we go. And I ended Elk City, I think, in Oklahoma. So my first real stop to get gas was Bourbon, Missouri, and I got a corncob pipe. 1 second. Still smells good. These things are basically designed to be disposable, but I have been cleaning it constantly and kept it in usable shape for all my camping trips and stuff. So I still have the one I bought here in Bourbon. And then I hit up the world's second largest McDonald's in Veneta, Oklahoma. It used to be the largest, but then they had to change it after another one was built that was bigger. I don't know where the one that's bigger is at, though. I want to say it's in Florida somewhere. But I couldn't see in the first picture, so I put my sunglasses on to get another picture. And then this is supposed to be the world's largest totem pole, and that's in Foyle, Oklahoma. And that's some of the statistics there on how tall it actually is. But I couldn't get, it was cloudy, but I couldn't get good focus on anything. I think it was just the shitty cameras I had, really. Well, it's sort of raining. Biggest totem pole. Alright, I got out and took pictures already. Just didn't want to sit out in the rain. See, in the camera it doesn't look like it's raining. It looks like it's a pretty sunny day, but it's not. Now this, I was really upset I didn't go back to see the big blue whale. That was stupid on my part. Because it was right down there in Catoosa, Oklahoma. I should have gone back and seen it. But this also starts something. So I had this idea about video pictures. I've talked about it on my channel. This is the first time I try it out and start doing it from this point on the trip. I start taking these vid pics. I didn't really call them that at the time, but I was testing out the idea at this point. So I get a couple more shots with the blue whale. It's another Roadside America attraction. Definitely worth checking out. And this is supposedly the world's largest soda bottle. I mean, I don't know what you even compare that to or how they judge that, but that's in Arcadia, Oklahoma. And then let's see what's next. A lot of this stuff, oh, another vid pic. A lot of this stuff is basically I pulled it from Roadside America. So you're gonna see, like, this is a giant cross in Edmond, Oklahoma. The way I found all this stuff was just right before the trip. I perused another vid pic, Roadside America, and was like, oh, that looks like it'd be fun to see. Oh, that looks like it'd be fun to see. And I had a binder, literally a binder, sitting next to me.
Yeah, little popping noise.
I'll tell you what, these audiobooks are the best thing in the world for road trips through crappy areas. Well, not crappy. I mean, there's cool stuff in Oklahoma, but this is not my place. I don't ever want to come back to Oklahoma. I am not impressed. Nothing against Oklahoma. Not my thing. I was supposed to only go to Joplin, Missouri today, but that was like 3.5 hours. And so I just decided to keep going, and now I'm 2 hours, no, I'm an hour and a half now away from Cheyenne, Oklahoma, where I was going to camp on my following day. It's July 7th. I was going to camp there on July 8th. So now I'm like a full day ahead of schedule just because I just felt like driving today, and I end up making up lots of miles. So I'm trying to figure out what I should do tomorrow because I'm still picking up bread at the same time in Albuquerque, so I can't get too far ahead. So maybe I'll go somewhere else like Roswell or something. It's only about 6 hours away, which compared to how long I'm used to driving now is nothing.
Even I gotta admit that it's funny that I end up living there just 3 years later. After saying those things about Oklahoma. Oh well, what are you gonna do, you know? So here's, I try a buffalo burger for the first time. I'd never had buffalo meat before, but that was excellent. If you haven't had buffalo, I suggest you try it, because it is stellar food.